Thank you, Dick. He's taller than I, so let me make an adjustment here. We have several things that we're very pleased to talk to you about today. We do not have these all written up in a news release because the information is so new that we couldn't write about it until just today. We will put out some information later for those of you that want more directly from us, but I encourage you to take good notes. So, first of all, I would like to announce that LAMA has elected some new members to our board of directors. We have a 7-member board, and we had 3 vacancies occur this year, and I'm very pleased to introduce, I won't introduce the people, but I'll tell you their names. We have from the Remos company, Gretchen Jan, who has come to that, I think she says it John actually, and she has come to that company, a German manufacturer of light sport aircraft, with experience in her history from Mooney. And it seems to me a pretty good matchup for that company, and she has joined our board, and we're very excited to have her as one of our new board members. Our second new board member is Phil Solomon. He is the CEO of Tecnam North America, and Tecnam North America has a very close relationship with the European producer, Tecnam of Italy. They have a longer name, but I'll have trouble telling you how to spell it, so we'll just leave it at Tecnam, which is their Americanized version of their company anyway. Tecnam, as you may know, as with Remos, is a producer of light sport aircraft, but Tecnam also has aircraft in the Part 23 space. And our final new member of the board of directors is Christian Mundigler. He is the sales manager for BRP Powertrain, which is the producer of Rotax aircraft engines. And I do know that BRP Powertrain has an abbreviation, a hyphen between BRP and Powertrain for your recording of that information. We're exceptionally pleased. While we're pleased with all of our new members, we're really pleased to have Christian join our board because it gives us a European on our board. And as you will hear a little bit later in some of our remarks, LAMA Europe has been formed. I'll introduce you to the new head of LAMA Europe, and this is a strong new initiative for LAMA because so many of our producers come from Europe that we wanted to make sure that we fully engage those participants in those countries. And Christian's engine, the Rotax engine, is on so many of these airplanes that it's a very pivotal new member of our board. So we're very pleased to announce those 3 new members, joining myself, joining Tom Pagini, who is the president of Flight Design USA, a longtime board member, and Phil Lockwood of Lockwood Aircraft Supply. Both of them have been on the board even longer than I, and another member is EAA's vice president of government relations, Earl Lawrence. So that comprises our whole board. I will put out some more information in a news release about this later if you didn't get all of that down. So that we have those names and their spellings and so forth right, but I'll be glad to give you more information at the close of our press conference to make sure that we've got the right names in the right places. So that was item number 1. Item number 2 for us is that we have started an initiative. This is in concert, LAMA working in concert with EAA and a group they have formed, which is called the SLSA Council, which is comprised of the leading manufacturers, the top manufacturers, a small group they wanted, and that's what they've achieved with that. And the goal with that group and what will ultimately fall into LAMA's area for ongoing management is a new safety website, which has yet to acquire a name, but it deals with the matter of continued operational safety monitoring. And the idea is to publish all safety bulletins and safety alerts, which are roughly the equivalent of an airworthiness directive in the type certified world, so that everyone can go to one site and find out this very important information which can deal with the safety of operating these aircraft. In addition, it will offer those in the field, mechanics in the field, a chance to submit service difficulty reports so they get back to the manufacturers. If you follow the light sport community at all, you know it's comprised of a lot of players. There have been 77 manufacturers. We've actually had a few who have gone away in the difficult economic environment that we've all been enduring. So we are at 72 now, but there are several more still in the wings. So we expect that number to go back up. There's also been 108 different models of light sport aircraft certified to the special, that is fully built status of light sport aircraft. This number is unprecedented in aviation history since the beginning. 108 new models in only a 5-year period of time. And so we're very pleased to be able to assist the industry by this common website, which is just in the beginning phases. I'm giving you some of the earliest information on this, and there'll be more as that continues to transpire. Item number 3 on our press conference has to do with the LSA Mall. By now, I hope you all know what that means, and we're very, very pleased once again to have a full to capacity LSA Mall. We achieved this down at the Sun and Fun Show 3 months ago. It's a very difficult environment to do this in, and we're very pleased that we have every single space we have available filled, and it does represent virtually all of the top manufacturers so that an attendee to Oshkosh or members of the media or anyone else can go to one location and see all the main LSA that are out there. In fact, my little tongue-in-cheek humor about that is that the LSA Mall has, as a display, more aircraft than any other display out here, even including such a big player as Cessna. As I say, that's a little tongue-in-cheek because obviously we don't match up directly with Cessna in any way, but we do have a lot of airplanes out there, and we welcome anyone to come out and have a look. We are located on what EAA calls the James Ray Road, which is you walk in the main entrance. If you take a left down one of those 2 diagonal roads and go 500 paces, you'll be standing right in front of the LSA Mall, which area also has a number of other LSA exhibitors in that same space. So having said those things now, we've got 3 more topics I think you'll find very interesting, but before we go further into those, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce LAMA Europe and Jan Friedrich, who is the Secretary General, which means he's the top man, and he is a very pivotal player. We're very happy to welcome Jan Friedrich to the stage. He's from the Czech Republic, but you'll appreciate his excellent command of English. Jan, please come and give us a few words about LAMA Europe.
Okay, now thank you. I'm very happy that I have this opportunity to talk to you. I would like to briefly introduce you to LAMA Europe. LAMA Europe is basically an independent organization, but will closely cooperate with LAMA because if you are looking to the numbers, LSA graphs and numbers which are published on his website almost every month, you will realize that more than 50% of SLSA, which means the company-built LSAs, are coming from Europe. Therefore, for the European manufacturers, it's critically important to get the similar sort of environment like you have in the United States. Unfortunately, that's not the case. I was working with EASA for more than 5 years now, and I realized that that's not a technical problem, it's a political problem. Unfortunately, so far, we were not able to find out somebody high enough in Europe who will say, I would like to have LSA in Europe. And that's why we need a lobbying organization, and that is the LAMA Europe. So in Friedrichshafen, I invited all the European manufacturers. We get some sort of a brainstorming session, and 36 of them basically agreed we need such organization. So at the moment, we are in the final stage of, from the organization point of view, it's already registered with the Ministry of Interior. We will have a bank account, and we will now start rolling it, but it's basically only for the lobbying purposes. We need to coordinate all organizations in Europe or entities who could have interest in LSA, and basically that everybody starts speaking the same language. And once we achieve that, then everybody needs to start in their home countries to talk to their members of parliament, etc., etc. So finally, maybe we'll arrive to the person high enough in Europe who will say, yes, I want to have it. And then they will order EASA to make it. Unfortunately, it is not working other way around. EASA itself will not make the LSA we want. The problem in Europe is that they are more thinking on this bureaucratic approach, type certification. Every company needs to have a design organization approval, production organization approval. The engines must be type certified, the propeller must be type certified. And on the end of that is that in the classical general aviation in Europe has died because these rules killed it. And we don't want this to be repeated again because we have very, very successful microlight industry in Europe. And the result of that, that's why we, as a European, are so successful in the United States with LSAs, because our top-end microlights were almost ready for the specialized port rules according to STM. So that's the reason why we are trying to do that. We need to coordinate that with FAA. I think that FAA could help us to push EASA to the common sense result, because the air is same on the both sides of the ocean. So why the rule must be different? Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Jan. He has coined a phrase